Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. You meet me here on a very frozen Loch Lomond side, midweek in the middle of December. And I'm really only here for one reason, and it's just to have a quick overnight camp, but also to try out a new sleeping bag. The temperatures are already sub-zero and will probably fall below the comfort limit of the bag. So it'll be an interesting one to try out. I've been given a brand new sleeping bag by Nortent to try. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I think it's either the Lyng or the Lyng. Not quite sure, but anyway, it's a premium product. Feels really nice. I love the build quality of it. Love the colour. It's not cheap. It's probably about £420 landed, but it is -5 comfort, -10 limit of comfort, and it's the lower spec version. There's also a higher spec version for even colder, but this will probably do me for 3+ seasons. It's 1.25 kilos without the stuff sack, 1.4 with this stuff sack, and it also comes with a really nice, very high quality storage sack, which is more like some sort of case, a bit like a soft case. Testing this tonight. I'm not sure whether to do a back-to-back test with another sleeping bag. I'm sure it's plenty warm. It's certainly lost really nicely, which I'll show you in a minute. So it's only about 4:30, 5 o'clock, but it is one spooky, foggy night. I've driven up through town, and as soon as we get out here, absolutely dead, not a soul around. So I'm going to head in to the woods further along here and see if I can find a wee spot. Well, we're not going to get across this river. I'll need to go further inland and round to the side. It's like a winter wonderland. Pretty nippy. I better dig out these gloves as well before I start trying to put this tent up. This looks like quite a good spot. Relatively flat. Doesn't feel too marshy. I don't think it's badly drained. Yeah, let's go for this. Got quite a heavy pack tonight with me. I brought wood as well, so we should hopefully have enough to at least get a wee short fire on, because it's a long, long winter's night otherwise. Got the winter mat from Light Tour, and I've brought the Nortent LYNG, which I'm looking forward to using. Absolutely enormous inside, so probably overkill. So although I've got a full size footprint for the LYNG, just to save a bit of weight with all the extra kit I brought, I'm just going to use a space blanket to protect the inner tent, and I'll just use the vestibules without the footprint, if you know what I mean. So I'll be just cooking and storing gear on the grass. I think quite a lot of people thought it was pretty heavy, but it's actually split between two. It's not bad at all, and if you don't take the footprint, you're saving a lot of weight as well. So I don't actually find it that bad, and it packs quite well in terms of being able to compact it down in your backpack, especially if you separate out the poles. But I think tunnels are just a great design. I love them. It just reminds me very much of the original Hilleberg Charon and the like. So there's a lot of pegs with it. I won't need as many as that tonight at all. In fact, I'd probably get away with 4, believe it or not. And the poles themselves are pretty chunky. 9.5mm, 3 identical hoops, and you can also double pole it if it's really stormy. So I haven't bothered putting my gloves on yet, and my hands are really nipping now that I've been using these poles. But we'll try and get this done. It's a wee bit easier without gloves. Looks pretty good. Biggest challenge I find with tunnels is trying to get it, all the hoops straight, if you know what I mean, so that you don't end up with a tent that's very squint once it's pitched. Wow. Right, we'll straighten up now. Do you know that set up with 4 pegs? I've tightened up the tension bands. I might actually only add 2 more pegs for the night. It's so still now. What I'll do is I'll put these ones in just now anyway and see how we get on, just to give the roof some tension. It's absolute luxury for one, I have to say. It's luxury for 2. Honestly, it's an amazing sized tent. I really do like it. I mean, I know it was given to me by Nortent, and a big thank you to them, but for camping, 2 of us in any conditions, just a great option. These are, I think, what they call as strongholds. They're really, really heavy duty. There's no chance of bending them. Even better than my DAC, my DAC V-pegs. These seem to be super bomber. That's how many I've got left, the vast majority of them. So we'll just tuck those away as not required for the moment. It's amazing just to have Loch Lomond to yourself. Check the room out in there. Not too shabby, eh? A lot of space. Forgot the pump. But to be honest, that's probably 25 grams saved. There you go. One light tour winter mat. I'm going to fill that up actually later. Just decant all the cooking stuff. Porridge for the morning. The usual titanium cook set from Snow Peak. And I've brought the wee Yuko tea candle tonight. I could probably have done with my more winter, bigger UCO candles, but I've also got the big gun hat tonight. This is a Fjallraven hat. Had this for about a decade. Hardly ever gets worn because it's never cold enough. And I look completely ridiculous in it. Strangely seems like very little kit, which worries me a bit. I'm just wondering what major bits I've forgotten. A few, breathes a sigh of relief, it's in there. So my whole reason for coming out tonight was purely to test one bit of kit. It's the Nortent LYNG sleeping bag. This is the -5 comfort version. It also comes in a -20 version. But to be honest, this should do me for most of the year in conjunction with a hot water bottle and some layers if I need it in the winter, during the summer. It's the best sleeping bag I've ever had, that's for sure. I've had various Rabs and Mac packs which were excellent, but the quality of this is just outstanding when you look at the materials and the fit and finish. It's got a couple of unique features. It's got a pocket at the bottom of the foot where you can dry wet clothes out, or damp clothes, and it has armholes so you can actually use it while you're moving around. You can also pin back the tail and the foot, and it allows you to walk around as if you were just wearing a big down oversuit. But overall, I mean, it does compress even further than that. I can get that even smaller, but that's pretty average for a winter bag. That's probably slightly smaller than my Rab version. So yeah, £425, so it's a premium product. 850 fill power. I've forgotten the name of that. I'll put it on screen, but it's basically damp and waterproof treated down. Comes in this nice roll top bag actually, which is velcroed at the top, which you don't really need, and actually kind of causes me more hassle than it's worth because it's hard to get the air out of it because the velcro is so effective at sealing it. At -5 tonight, I think it's probably exactly what we'll get to, if not maybe 5 degrees lower. We shall see. You can see it's actually got a centre zip as well, so it's not a side zip. Pop together collar, which goes around your neck, this neck baffle to keep you warm. I think it also helps if you're walking about in it because it sits on your shoulders better. The other thing which I brought again tonight is a wee serotonin outdoor table. It comes in this really nice, that's that kind of, I don't know what you call it, X-Pack that they use to strengthen the corners on tents. Comes with a wee zip pocket. It has a, not that I'm going to use it as a wee pocket notebook inside it. It has a game which fits on the table. So I guess if you're bored in your tent with a couple of folk, you can play that. And it comes with a wee magnetic pen as well. The pen's stored in there. This unscrews and then connects on the back of that. Nearly. You can see if you just snap it open quickly enough, the legs pop out. They're spring loaded and fit into the edges of the extrusion. But yeah, a lot of people commented on that when I had it in, where was it, Ranachmure? A lot of people thought it was a really nice wee thing. I quite like it, so I'm going to use it to cook on the stove. Keeps the stove gas off the cold of the ground. And yeah, I'll put a link. It's on Kickstarter, I believe, so it's not actually, I don't think it's officially launched yet. So there you go, that's your wee game board on there. And then you have, whoops, a little dice, and then your 2-player markers made out of, I don't know what that is, I think it's aluminium. Quite nicely machined. It's a very cute little quirky wee table. Come stove guard actually, so you can use it in the wind, and that just stores in that little bag. Okay, I've been to the stream and we now have water for cooking for the night. So a big shout out to David Eardley, Fellman Dave. I don't know if you watch his channel already, a lot of you do, I know. If you don't, have a wee look at his channel, he's got a lot of great gear reviews and he's very, very detailed, unlike me. But anyway, thank you to him because he funded a wee wind meter and thermometer for me through Buy Me a Coffee, which was really kind of him. So thanks David, much appreciated. So the wood saws get two purposes tonight. I should be able to chop up some extra wood locally, and I should also be able to fend off the BAMs. You never know who's round here. Okay, 0.3. It's just starting to drop now. The rice is just about simmering. So we're having some Ben's rice, and then I'm having my old favourite, the plant powered, I don't know if you can see that, Ben's plant powered chili non-carne. I keep forgetting to say that. So it's a veggie one. Not that I'm particularly veggie, but it's just very, very tasty. So we'll just add the whole lot in, I think, and get ourselves a nice high calorie meal. We're getting that. And I've got a nice wee rioja to wash it down with, which will be a bit, it's pretty chilly, but hey, it's fruity, it'll do it. Very good. I'd say it's just hovering at 0 just now, so everything it's ground frosted, but it's not any worse than that at the moment, and it is forecast to go certainly -4, but possibly as low as -11 tonight. But I would say, judging by how it's kind of clagged in, I think it'll be a -4-ish job, which should be a perfect test for the sleeping bag. Well, it may not be an awful lot of wood, but if it keeps me going for say an hour, that would be great until we get into that sleeping bag. I've managed to avoid using gloves all night so far, but when you've been out here for a while, yeah, it's beginning to catch now. It's beginning to get pretty numb on the fingertips. So this is a godsend. Hopefully you've enjoyed some of the videos. I've tried to keep them fairly regular, but it is difficult. I know a lot of you are interested in gear rather than trip reports, so I hope you found some of the gear reviews interesting and some of the stuff I've used. So yeah, thanks for supporting me through the year, and thanks to the people that I've met up with. Actually, other YouTubers has been really good. Redman Walking, Boardman Jim, Fellman Dave, Ewan down south, who's actually family, to be honest. We did the TMB together, which was a great adventure. So it's all in all, looking back over the year, it's been quite entertaining actually. It's been good, and thanks to the sponsors for sending me so much interesting gear. People at Nortent and the like have given some very nice kit. I've also got a hammock to test actually, which is something I've never done. So that just arrived this week. It's an award-winning hammock system, all in one. It's probably a bit too cold this time of year to sleep in it, but I'm going to do an initial review, get a look at it, because hammock camping is all new to me. Don't have a clue about it. Check me out. Some sort of weird walking cocoon creature. I know this looks completely bonkers, and to be honest, I'm really glad there is nobody around here, because they'd probably lock me up for this. The collar connects around your neck, it kind of holds it around your shoulders a bit. Let me take this back off because it's too hot. And you've got these zippable armholes. I said armholes. And then at the back, the bottom of the bag, when you unzip it, you can connect the toggle and a loop system to either side just to lift the tail off the ground so it doesn't drag in the wet and the dirt. So I could literally wander around tomorrow morning in broad daylight making my breakfast if it wasn't for any of the members of the public that might be about. But yeah, it works actually quite well, and to be fair, I could quite happily just sit here by the fire once it dies down, and I'm lovely and toasty at the moment. But I just really wanted to demonstrate exactly what Nortent's done with this bag. I know I've seen armholes in some of the other ones. I think Nemo does them. If you look at Justin Outdoors, his Canadian channel, a lot of his big winter sleeping bags have this option so you can read, cook, whatever else. Let me just walk you around there so you can see it. Yeah, Pretty cool though. Looks absolutely bonkers. But it'll be good in the when I get back in the tent later on, just the fact that I can operate the radio without getting my shoulders out and getting really cold. Right, the fire is dying, so I think it's about time I probably retire to the tent. We'll just use the warmth of the candle and we'll get a stove on. We'll boil up some water for a hot water bottle for the sleeping bag. It's hovering about 0 still, -1 at one point. Not extreme by any means. I'm not even bothered using gloves. I've been able to keep warm with the fire okay. But yeah, I'm just dumping the remainder of the kit in here and then we'll just get under cover. The time is only 8:10. So we'll just enjoy the dying embers of what's left, which isn't an awful lot to be honest. I don't think we can keep this going much longer. But yeah, it's been a nice wee evening. The dinner was lovely. At this temperature I've not really needed the gloves as I say, so it's been okay. But I think it'll be bang on perfect for the comfort level for that sleeping bag, so I'm actually looking forward to testing it. It's probably the ideal conditions for it. So before I go to my bed, I said I'll give you a laugh. You want to see me with this Fjallraven hat on? Check that out. Heavy metal. Look like something out of Def Leppard or something. Or Wayne's World. But my God, is this a great hat. It's so warm. It's overkill for this. It's not actually cold enough in here. But if it had been well below 0, this is an absolutely brilliant hat. So I've got in the bottom here, I have a Nalgene bottle full of hot water. Just warming things up for my feet. We'll use my big Decathlon puffer jacket as the pillow. I've just put it in the stuff sack for the sleeping bag and then I'll put a fleece over this just to hold it in place. So that should work, hopefully. And let's get in the bag. Thank God for these TBM POY insulated trousers. I've had these on all night and my legs have been nice and warm. They're not obviously as good as having down, but I actually don't own a set of down trousers. It has a velcroed outer pocket at the feet. It's hard to do with one hand. But basically I understand this is to allow you to dry out any damp gear overnight off presumably the heat off your feet, although I would have thought probably better built into the body of the bag. But anyway, what I'll do is I'll just pop my down boots and my hat in there. I can hear an owl giving it a welly outside and I'm cheesed off because I just sat in my glasses and broke the leg off them. So yep, that's what happens when you get old. Anyway, I will see you guys in the morning. Well, good morning everybody. It's 7:15. It's still pitch black outside. Yeah, I slept well actually. Sleeping bag was nice and warm. It didn't seem to drop below -1 in here last night and I think it's round about 0 at the moment. It was about 1 and I woke up I think 2 in the morning or something. That was -1. So yeah, I've been nice and toasty in the bag to the extent that actually I didn't really use the hood on it. So I just kept it around my shoulders, which was pretty good. And no cold spots. I just wore a single, just a dry fit top on here and a pair of merino socks and just my boxer shorts. And I didn't feel cold in the legs or anything like that at all. The hot water bottle died at some point during the night. I've taken that out. But yeah, and it's handy just having the armholes to be able to, obviously, let's move this out of the way. It's nice to have the armholes to operate the phone, amongst other things. It's also worth mentioning I didn't use the down collar that can go around your shoulders, which would probably keep a bit more heat in, given that I had the bag slightly open. But I didn't notice any cold air particularly getting in. I was fine if I just cinched it out around my shoulders. And I didn't use that draw cord either, which would have pulled it in a bit as well. So yeah, definitely I would say rated to exactly what they say. So successful wee bag, and it's quite, I found it quite roomy. It's actually quite big, so didn't feel too constrictive. Oh, it's nippy when you open the front door. It's pitch black out there, so I was hoping to get a view, but we're way too early yet. Oh, that's better. I thought the centre zip might cause some cold spots, but no, actually I didn't notice it at all. And I did have a centre zip bag before. It was the Mountain Hardware Lamina Spark. I liked it, although the zip on that one was very short just to save weight, so it was really awkward to get into, whereas this one extends so far I had no problem getting into the bag or getting out. Yeah, everything's damp. There's a sheen of moisture right over the bag and probably most things in here. Must have been a really still night. I tried to vent the tent as best I could, so I had the vent open here, but yeah, it's not been enough. Right, let's get packed up and get a wee bit of breakfast on, and then head back to the office. Frozen. Very vocal owl. So after my blowout last night, I'm not particularly hungry, so I think we'll just have a quick cup of coffee and hit the road. I'm not going to bother with the porridge. We'll keep that for the next time. Give me a wee kickstart for the drive down the road. I'll get about an hour or so back to the house. But yeah, looking at the ground frost in the tent, there's just a wee bit of ice on it here and there, so it's definitely hovered about -1-ish, I would say. Oh, solid in. Do you love this tent? It was just so quick to put up last night. I think I prefer it over the Vern 2 just for the speed of pitching. I just love the simplicity of a good tunnel tent. Leave no trace as always and take one back. And meet my wee pal the Robin. He's just making sure I've left no rubbish. Everything look alright, Robin? Good. Right, that's a wrap, as I say. Leave no trace and take one back. I've taken an extra bit of rubbish. Always try and do that. If you like the channel, please give us a wee like or a subscribe if you've not subscribed before, because I've got about 320 videos out there. So hopefully there's something that will interest you. I should get probably one more video out before Christmas, so I won't say Merry Christmas to you all yet. But anyway, I'm going to head back to the office. Bag worked well. Temperatures didn't go quite as low as I hoped, so it wasn't quite the test that it really needed. But yeah, no complaints about it at all. So thank you for watching. I'll drop links in the description below if there's anything you want to know about the kit that I was using. Cheers just now.